Your personal data is being harvested, sold, and traded right now without your knowledge. And it's completely legal. But two major laws are fighting back: Europe's GDPR and California's CCPA. Which one actually protects you better? The answer might shock you, especially if you're American. GDPR launched in Europe in 2018, while CCPA followed in California in 2020. Both were responses to massive data breaches. Let's start with GDPR. It affects nearly 450 million people across all European countries. GDPR's core principle? Your data belongs to you, not companies. They're just borrowing it with your permission. That's why websites constantly ask for cookie consent in Europe. Under GDPR, they legally must get your explicit permission. You also have the right to access your data, correct it, or have it completely deleted within 30 days. And if you ask a company to forget you, they must erase everything they have on you. It's called the right to be forgotten. Violations can cost companies up to 4% of their global revenue, or $20 million. That's why even Facebook takes GDPR seriously. Now let's cross the Atlantic to California, where CCPA protects 40 million residents, about 12% of Americans. CCPA gives you the right to know what data is collected and to opt out of its sale. Ever notice those "do not sell my data" links on websites? That's CCPA in action, giving you control. But unlike GDPR, companies have 45 days to respond to your requests, extendable to 90 days. That's double the wait time. And the penalties? Just $2,500 to $7,500 per violation. For tech giants, that's pocket change compared to GDPR fines. Did you know CCPA only applies to larger businesses while GDPR covers almost all companies regardless of size? Here's a critical difference. GDPR requires opt-in consent, while CCPA allows opt-out options. The default settings matter enormously. Under GDPR, companies must inform users of data breaches within 72 hours. CCPA has no specific timeframe requirement. Think about that. GDPR gives special protection to children under 16. CCPA only protects those under 13, leaving teens more vulnerable in the US. The most shocking difference? CCPA only protects Californians, while GDPR protects anyone in Europe, regardless of citizenship. Living in Kansas or Florida? Sorry, you don't have these rights at all under federal law. Surprised? Let's test this. Have you ever tried requesting your data from Facebook or Google? Europeans report much faster responses. Companies often collect far more data than needed. GDPR restricts this, requiring only essential data collection. CCPA doesn't. Annoyed by all those cookie pop-ups? That's the price of transparency. Without them, you'd never know what's being tracked. Did you know your location data can be worth $100-200 per year to advertisers? That's your value being harvested without compensation. GDPR classifies biometric data, like facial recognition, as highly sensitive. CCPA offers weaker protections for such intimate data. Both laws impact international business. Companies worldwide now build separate systems for European and American users. Notice how privacy policies changed around 2018? That's when companies scrambled to comply with GDPR, making policies more transparent. Several states have followed California's lead with their own privacy laws. But this creates a confusing patchwork of protection. The big question: why doesn't the US have a federal privacy law like Europe? The lobbying power of tech companies plays a major role. Data brokers, companies that collect and sell your information, face stricter regulations under GDPR than CCPA. They're thriving in America. Health data gets special protection under both laws, but GDPR's safeguards are significantly stronger and more comprehensive. Ever wonder why apps ask for permissions they don't need? GDPR restricts this, but CCPA allows broader collection. GDPR gives you the right to challenge automated decisions made about you by algorithms. CCPA offers no such protection against AI judgment. Try downloading your Facebook data. Europeans get more complete information than Americans under these different legal standards. For businesses, GDPR compliance is generally more expensive and complex than CCPA, but it builds customer trust. The fundamental difference? GDPR treats privacy as a human right. CCPA treats it more as a consumer right that can be traded. Some Americans use VPNs to appear as if they're browsing from Europe, hoping to gain GDPR protections. But does this actually work? GDPR has resulted in over $1.6 billion in fines since 2018. CCPA enforcement has been much less aggressive, with fewer penalties. Companies often hide their data practices in lengthy privacy policies. The average policy takes 18 minutes to read. Who actually does that? Those eerily accurate ads? Under GDPR, targeted advertising requires explicit consent. CCPA just gives you the right to opt out. GDPR gives privacy advocacy groups the right to file complaints on your behalf. CCPA has more limited group action provisions. The cultural difference is stark. Europeans generally value privacy over convenience. Americans often choose convenience over privacy. GDPR has influenced global standards. Countries from Brazil to Japan have adopted similar laws, creating a worldwide privacy movement. Want better privacy protection? You can request GDPR-level rights even in America. Many companies will honor them to avoid creating separate systems. Privacy protection is ultimately a political choice. Voters in democracies decide how much power companies should have over personal data. The future? Experts predict U.S. federal privacy law will eventually emerge, but likely weaker than GDPR. The question is when, not if. Even with these laws, perfect privacy doesn't exist in our digital world. But informed users have significantly more protection. So which law is better? GDPR offers stronger protections, but CCPA was a groundbreaking first step for American privacy rights. The most important takeaway? Regardless of where you live, you should regularly review privacy settings and data sharing permissions. Try this. Request your data from a major company you use daily. The process and response will reveal how they truly value your privacy. Data breaches affect millions annually. Strong privacy laws don't just protect your data, they reduce the damage when breaches inevitably occur. Your digital footprint is larger than you think. The average person is in over 1,500 databases. That's 1,500 potential breach points. Next time you see a privacy policy, actually read it. Look for data sharing, retention periods, and your rights. You'll be shocked. The big revelation? Privacy isn't just about hiding information. It's about maintaining control over who can access your personal life. Armed with this knowledge, you're now better equipped to protect your digital self, regardless of which law covers you. What privacy rights do you think should be universal? Share your thoughts in the comments. This conversation shapes our digital future. Subscribe for more clear explanations of complex laws that actually affect your daily life. No legal jargon, just straight facts. Check out our next video on banking regulation differences. You'll discover shocking revelations.